Hey, what's up YouTube fam? It's Ben here. Welcome back to another flow. As always, every Wednesday and every Sunday, we get a new yoga class here on this channel, so feel free to subscribe if you've been enjoying the energy. With that being said, today's class is going to be really fun. I'm really excited for it. It's going to be a ladder mobility flow. So when I say ladder flow, it means that throughout the class, we're going to be building the sequence, sort of one additional or two additional poses at a time until we have a full, beautiful sequence that we can move through and create some muscle memory and flow and rhythm around. And when I say mobility, I simply mean that we're going to be playing with some new creative movements that are designed to not only create strength in many areas of the body, but also increase range of motion across the body as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in an upright seated position. You can sit comfortably on your shins, you can sit cross-legged, you can even lay all the way down on your mat if that feels preferable for your body. So as you make your way into your position, simply using this opportunity for stillness to check in with yourself, to notice how the body feels, to notice how you're showing up in this moment. Knowing that there's no wrong way to show up. Simply by being here, you're in the right place and you're continuing on your path on this journey. Start to deepen your breath, inhaling a little fuller, exhaling a little deeper. And we'll take a few deep breaths together now. As you're ready, go ahead and exhale out anything you're holding in. And then take a deep breath in through the nose all the way to the top. And then a big sigh out through the mouth. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. Deep breath in. Big sigh out. If your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and flutter them open, and we'll just clasp our hands together in front of our heart and begin rolling the wrists around. We'll spend a fair amount of time in today's class pushing through the mat with our hands in plank poses and lunges, so it's always lovely to give some attention to those wrists. As you press one hand into the other, just notice the sensations. Notice how it feels to open up. Notice if there's any snaps, crackles, or pops. And that's okay if there is, as long as there's no pain that accompanies it. Good, and we'll keep rolling the wrists around for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. One more side body stretch before we jump into some deeper movements. So we're going to ground our left hand down off the side of our left hip. We're going to reach our right hand up and over toward the top right hand corner of the room. Keep trying to root down through the right hip as we reach the right fingertips over. And maybe you want to bring a bend or some buoyancy into the left elbow as you reach. Take a deep breath in, reach a little bit further. Exhale, settle into the stretch. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Start to release. And we'll stretch over to the other side. So the right hand grounds down off the right hip toward the mat. And the left hand will reach up and over toward the top left-hand corner of the room. Keep rooting down through your left hip as you reach, and then bring some buoyancy into your right elbow. Maybe even start to lower your forearm closer to the mat. And take a deep breath in to reach further. Exhale, settle into the stretch. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Release this and come into a tabletop position. Once you find your tabletop, take a couple circles with the shoulders over the wrists. Maybe take 4 circles clockwise. And then when you finish, you can take 4 counterclockwise. Just noticing what it feels like to put weight into the hands, to drive through the fingertips, through the palms. And then once you feel stable with that, we'll find another wrist stretch by turning the fingertips back to face the knees, thumbs face out to the side. When you get there, you can simply rock forward and back, or you can take a few more of those circles. Find freedom in your movement. Know that you can go anywhere that feels good. Beautiful. And we'll just stay in this wrist stretch, swaying around for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Release the hands to face forward like normal. And then last wrist stretch, we're going to turn the left hand upside down so the back of the palm or top of the palm will press down into the mat. And your 2 options here are to either simply shift the weight around and press different parts of the back of your hand down into the mat. Or my favorite, you can bunch up the left fingertips into a fist and then extend. And just keep that motion going. Really just getting into all of those small little crevices in the wrist. And then we'll switch to the other hand. So left hand releases, top of the right hand or back of the right palm presses down. You can bunch up the fingertips, you can shift the weight around to let it be nice. Take a few more breaths in your movement into the right hand. Beautiful. And release the right hand like normal and start flowing through your cat-cows. So as you inhale, drop the belly, curl the chest forward. As you exhale, press the ground away, round the spine, fill the space between the shoulder blades. Inhales to drop the belly, lift the chest forward. Exhale to push away and round the spine. And keep going through these cat-cow movements at your own pace. Breathe with your movements. Maybe close your eyes and tune in. And maybe take these into any other movements that feel good. Maybe it continues to look like traditional cat-cow. Maybe it looks like shifting the hips side to side and C-curving the spine. Maybe it looks like jump roping the spine, finding some big circles in the mid-body. Again, explore, observe, be here with the sensations. Keep moving in freedom for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find stillness in your tabletop. From here, we'll tuck the toes, hover the knees off the mat, and we're just going to be here for some activation. So in this kind of floating tabletop bear crawl shape, the knees are just hovering a couple inches off the mat. And we'll find our first challenge by keeping everything still and simply floating the right heel off the mat, hugging the right heel in toward the glute. Good. Release the right foot down, hug the left heel off the mat and in toward the glute. Good. Left foot down, float the right hand up or just rise onto the right fingertips. Try to keep the knees and hips stable. Release the right hand, float the left hand, or simply rise onto the left fingertips. Try to keep the knees and hips stable. Release the left hand, come back down to your tabletop. Find a brief child's pose. Knees wide about mats with distance. Send the hips back toward the heels. Allow everything to soften down toward the mat. In this child's pose, feel your shoulders stretching away from the back body, maybe even rise onto your fingertips to bring additional activation. While that's happening, notice how the hips are feeling as we root down, as we feel the hip flexors subtly opening in this restorative pose. Take a deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. One more deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. Rise up into your tabletop position. When you get there, we'll find a spinal balance. Reach the right hand forward. Drive the left heel back behind you. First couple moments are to find stability, and then we find our strength and activation. So drive further through the left heel. Flex the left toes down toward the mat. Reach further through your right hand. Keep driving through the left palm. Feel the left shoulder blade create strength across the back. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3. Lift the left hand and right, or left foot and right hand a little bit higher. 2. And one. Beautiful. Release. Shift the weight around for a moment. And then we'll make our way into spinal balance. On the other side, left hand forward, right heel kicks back. First couple moments, get the wiggles out, find your stability, and then find your strength. Drive through the right heel, flex the right toes down toward the mat. Extend. Find length through the left hand. Breathe for 5, 4, 3. Lift the right heel and left hand a little bit higher. 2, 1. Release everything down. Wow, look at all that heat already building. From here, tuck the toes, lift the heels or lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Heels ground further down in toward the mat. You can use this time in downward facing dog to warm into it. So you can pedal out the feet, bending one knee then the other. You can shift the heels from side to side to open up the hips. Really have freedom in the body. Don't be afraid of finding some new explorative movements here. Simply noticing what comes up. Being with the sensations, driving through the palms, driving through the feet. Lifting the hips a little bit higher, starting to press the chest a little bit closer to the thighs. Good. And we'll find some weight shifting activation here. So try to keep everything stable. Hips are level. And then lift the right leg up to three-legged dog. Keep the hips square with one another, right toes flexing down toward the mat. Good. Lower the right heel down to the mat. Lift the left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Keep the hips square, left toes pointing down. Release the left foot down to the mat. And then we're going to lift the right hand off the mat and as it reaches next to the right hip. A variation of this is simply to keep the right hand grounded down and maybe just try to rise onto the right fingertips. And that is more than enough of a challenge to bring some activation, especially into the left arm. Good. Ground the right hand back in its original place and then float the left hand off the mat. Left hand reaches next to the left hip. Again, variation is simply just to rise onto the left fingertips. Feel the activation. Allow the other 3 points of contact to make up for this difference. Beautiful. Then release the left hand back down to the mat. Look between the hands, rise up high onto the toes, and then bend the knees a lot. Belly comes toward the thighs. Take a bunch of steps, walk the feet up to the hands, forward fold, top of the mat. When you get there, option to simply let the arms dangle as we become lazy in the upper body, or an option to integrate a bigger shoulder stretch by clasping the palms behind the low back and then lifting the palms overhead to open up the shoulder blades. As you do this, feel free to bend the knees as much as you'd like. As you'll see up on the screen, I'm bending my knees so much that my belly comes close to my thighs, and that just creates more space for me in my hamstrings. So breathe here. We'll have another handful of breaths in this forward fold. Enjoying these moments of stillness before we find some more energetic movements. Feeling the shoulders, neck, jaw all relax and soften a little bit deeper. Find a halfway lift. Extend your spine forward. Palms land on the legs as the shoulder blades hug together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold and release the torso down. As you inhale, drive through the feet, lift the palms up to the sky as you stand all the way up. Exhale, fold forward, half sun A's. Inhale, halfway lift, spine extends. Exhale, fold, release. Inhale, drive through the feet, lift the palms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drive through the feet, rise all the way up to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold and release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drive through the feet, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drive through the feet, rise to stand, palms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, drive through the feet, rise to stand, palms overhead. Listen carefully. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink the hips low. Keep the palms lifted overhead. At the same time, try to relax the shoulders as they engage. Bring the weight into the heels of your feet. Maybe you can even wiggle the toes off the mat. And with the weight being in the heels, see if you can drive the hips back in space even more. Beautiful. Breathe here for 8, 7, 6, 5. Feel the strength. 4, 3, 2. Beautiful. 1. Fold, forward, release. Shake the knees out, shake the hips side to side. Plant your palms firmly on the mat, bend your knees as much as you need to, and then step both feet back into a high plank position. We'll hold this for a few breaths to create strength, to continue activating and building heat. As you find your high plank, feel all of your fingertips gripping down into the mat, providing even more engagement with the floor beneath you. And then wrap the triceps back, biceps forward. Create that strong high plank. Drive through the hands so much that the low ribs tuck in, that the shoulder blades find space between them as they separate, building wings on the upper back. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful work. Come all the way down to the mat and we'll find a dynamic locust. Bring your fingertips off the mat at about 10 and 2. So they're off the top corners of the mat. And we use our fingertips just to create more lightness in the body. Tops of the feet press down behind you and we'll move with our breath. So as you inhale, press through the fingertips, drive the chest off the mat. Exhale, release everything down. Inhale, press through the fingertips, drive the chest off the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Bring your palms back beside your chest, toes tucked behind us. Flex the legs so much that the knees lift off the mat. We can feel the quads lifting off the mat as well. And then become strong in the hands. Press yourself up to high plank. Shoop. And then back to downward facing dog. Hips lift up and back. Pause here. Notice your new space in this downward facing dog. Shift the weight around. Find freedom. Notice the length in the back of the legs. Notice the strength in the arms. Beautiful. We'll start building into our flow now, our ladder flow. So we're going to start off nice and slow, building kind of one shape at a time and slowly getting deeper into a very energizing, kind of rigorous flow. So let's do it, y'all. As we inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, 3-legged dog. And then exhale, bring the right knee over toward the right armpit into this mountain climber position. Find length, hug your low ribs in, feel everything lifting away from the mat. And then take a big step, right foot outside of right hand. It's okay if you need a couple smaller steps in order to get there. Once you do, we're in this wide lizard lunge. Just rock the hips around. Use this as an opportunity to find opening. Your palms can stay all the way grounded down, or you can rise onto the fingertips if that helps you bring more activity into the legs. Beautiful. So we're going to find a fun movement here. We're going to ground our left palm firmly into the mat as we lift the right hand up off the mat. Using this position, we're going to thread the left foot through this space between the left hand and right foot. So we're going to lift the left foot forward and thread it through that gap and then kick the left foot forward as we drive the right elbow back. You can always look up at the screen. Good. Once you find that expansion, drive through the left heel as it kicks forward. And then we're coming back just how we came. So the left foot is going to thread through the gap between our left hand and right foot, back to the back of the mat. When you get there, find revolved side angle as we reach the right hand up to the sky. Beautiful. Take a breath in, twist the right arm a little bit deeper. As you exhale, right hand comes back down to the mat to the inside of the right foot. Once you find that position, lean the chest forward into your lizard lunge. And then exhale, step the right foot back to the left for high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees down to the mat, and then bring your hips in the direction of your heels for this extended puppy pose. So for puppy pose, toes are tucked, hips go back to the heels, arms are outstretched in front of us as we stretch into the shoulders. From here, look out in front of you between the palms. Pull your being forward, hovering directly over the mat as the forearms ground. Pulling through, eventually coming up into an upward-facing dog as we drive through the hips and drive through the palms and bring the hips forward, rather. Take a breath in your first upward-facing dog, and then exhale to your downward-facing dog. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As you inhale, left foot rises up to the sky, three-legged dog. And then take a big shift forward to bring your left knee up to your left armpit. Feel the growth, the expansion, everything pulling up. And then big step forward, left foot outside of left hand. Shift the weight around into your lizard lunge. Again, you can be on your palms, you can be on your fingertips. You can even be on some blocks if you have those handy. Shift the weight around. Notice the hips opening, just gently getting into that space within the body. And then we're going to ground down firmly through the right hand. We're going to float the left hand off the mat. So the right foot is going to come from behind us. It's going to thread through that gap between the left foot and right hand, and it's going to extend out in front of us. As we do so, drive the left elbow back in space to create that compression. And then we're coming back just as we came. So the right foot is going to thread through the middle and step all the way back to the mat as we lift the left hand all the way up to the sky, revolved side angle. Take a deep breath in, twist the left hand back. As you exhale, left hand returns to the mat inside of the left foot. Take a moment to reach the chest forward and settle into your lunge. And then as you're ready, step left foot back to right for high plank. Take a breath in high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back toward the heels. Puppy pose. Gaze out in front of you, and then pull your being through, hovering over the mat. Think knees, chest, and chin down to the mat as you come through. And then eventually pulling forward to upward facing dog, pressing through the tops of the feet. Take a deep breath in, and then exhale to downward facing dog. As you get to downward facing dog, crawl the hands back to the feet for a forward fold. We're just here for a moment or two to get the weight off of the hands early in the practice. In this forward fold, if you'd like to roll around the wrists or give your wrists a little bit of a massage, feel free. And then we'll get right back into our flow. So crawl forward to your downward facing dog, and let's keep building. So inhale, reach the right leg high to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, big step, right foot outside of right hand. Reach forward into your lizard lunge, and then lift your right hand off the mat. Thread the left foot through in the space in between your left hand and right foot. As we kick the left foot forward, drive the right elbow back. Try to find some more lift in your left foot this time. And then come back, thread the left foot through underneath the body to the back of the mat as we reach the right hand up for revolved side angle. Find that space, grow across the chest. Take a deep breath in. Listen carefully. As we exhale, drop the left knee down to your mat. Keep the left hand grounded for a moment in this twisted low lizard lunge. And then lift the body off the mat as the left hand lifts off the mat. And we're in this upright twisted low lunge now. From here, find this space across the chest as it keeps growing, and then we'll reach the right hand back toward the back of the left leg as the left hand reaches overhead. Maybe bend into the right knee a little bit more. And again, the goal is for the right hand to maybe land somewhere on the back of the left leg. It may not get there, and even if you don't get there, I'm sure we can all still feel this stretch in the mid-body as we reach the left hand up overhead. Take a deep breath in here. As we exhale, both palms rotate down toward the mat, and then we'll step the right foot back to the left for high plank. Take a breath in high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees down to the mat, hips send back toward the heels. Gaze out in front of you as you pull your being through into an upward facing dog, and then exhale to your downward facing dog. One breath in, one breath out. Amazing job, y'all. Let's keep building. Inhale, left leg rises up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Reach the chest forward into this lizard lunge. Float the left hand off the mat. Thread the right foot through in between as the right foot kicks forward. Left elbow drives it back. Find a little more lift in the right leg this time. Good. Come back through as the right foot threads underneath and to the back of the mat. Lift the left hand up for a revolved side angle. Twist around the spine. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, keep the left hand lifted up, drop the right knee down to the mat, maybe untuck the right toes behind you. We're in this twisted low lizard lunge, and then rise up, lifting the right heel off the mat, keeping that growth across the chest. And then keep this motion going as we reach the left hand toward the back of the right leg, maybe bend a little bit deeper into the left knee, into your lunge, as the right hand reaches overhead. Again, maybe the left hand lands on the back of the right leg, maybe it doesn't. Either way, just reach into this expansion, this new space. Take one more deep breath in. As we exhale, the palms are going to rotate back down to the mat, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and then we'll step the left foot back to the right for high plank. When you get to high plank, take a breath in. Exhale, drop the knees down to the mat, hips send back toward the heels. Inhale, pull your being through into your upward facing dog, and exhale to your downward facing dog. When you land in downward facing dog, crawl the hands back to the feet for a forward fold. Find any bind that you would like, or roll the wrists around for a moment. We'll be here in this restful break for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Crawl the hands forward to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, plant right foot outside of right hand. Reach the chest forward into this wide lizard lunge. Lift the right hand off the mat and then thread the left leg underneath as it kicks forward. Drive the right elbow back in space. Find lift in the left heel. Come back the way you came. Left foot threads underneath the body as it steps to the back of the mat, and we reach the right hand up, revolved side angle. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, drop the left knee down and rise up into this low twisted lunge. Right hand reaches to the back of the left leg as the left hand reaches overhead. Find your expansion. Take some deep breaths. Opening through the chest, revolving around the spine. A lot of things happening in this pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Rotate the hands back down to the mat. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, step back to high plank. Take a breath in high plank. Drop the knees, send the hips back toward the heels. Pull your being through to your upward facing dog, and then exhale to your downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Lean the chest forward to create space, and then lift the left hand off the mat, thread the right foot through as it kicks forward, drive the left elbow back in space. Work to lift the right heel higher. And then release, thread the right foot under the body as it steps to the back of the mat. Left hand lifts up for a revolve side angle. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, drop the right knee down to the mat and lift up into your twisted lizard lunge. Feel the opening across the chest and then reach the left hand toward the back of the right leg. Right hand reaches overhead. Take a few breaths into this new space. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. Big exhale, rotate the hands down to the mat. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Step the left foot back to the right. Take a breath in high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back toward the heels. Pull your being through into your upward facing dog. And then back to your downward facing dog. When you land there, take one deep breath in and one deep breath out. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, big step, right foot outside of right hand. Start to lean the chest forward, and then lift the right hand off the mat. Thread the left foot through. Find some lift in the left heel as you drive the right elbow back in space. Good. Step the left foot back under the body all the way to the back of the mat. Find your revolved side angle as we lift the right hand up to the sky. Listen carefully now. Now we're going to build and keep growing in this sequence. So, from this revolved side angle, we are going to lift the left hand off the mat and rise all the way up into a twisted crescent lunge. So the left hand is reaching forward, the right hand is driving back in space to open the chest. Try to keep your hips level and keep everything stable and strong. Beautiful work. From here, reach the right hand back. Maybe the right hand grounds somewhere onto the back of the left leg as the left hand reaches overhead. Create that new space, a similar twist, just a much more active version of the grounded one with our left knee down. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, rotate the hands back down to the mat through runner's lunge and then step the right foot back to the left. Take a deep breath in high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back to the heels. Inhale, pull your being through into your upward facing dog. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. When you do so, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Pull the chest forward through lizard lunge, and then lift the left hand, thread the right foot through as we kick the right heel up toward the sky. Feel the strength. Good. Thread the right foot back under the body. As it steps to the back of the mat, lift the left hand up, revolved side angle. Feel the stretch. Open across the chest. And then get really strong in the legs and feet. Drive through the legs, come up through your twist. Right hand reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Work into this space, and then eventually reaching the left hand to the back of the right leg. Right arm reaches overhead. Settle into this active version of this expansive lunge. One more deep breath in to reach the right hand up. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Coming through runner's lunge and then stepping the left foot back to the right. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pull your being through, hovering over the mat into your upward facing dog. And then exhale into your downward facing dog. When you land there, gently crawl the hands back to the feet for a forward fold. Find any variation of this fold that feels good and restorative. I'm going to go for a gorilla pose by bending my knees and sliding my palms underneath the feet for a wrist stretch. Take some deep breaths wherever you are. Try to soften, because we are going to keep building on that sequence in a moment. Beautiful work, everybody. About 2 more breaths of stillness. Settle deeper into your fold as the upper body collapses. Then if you're binding, go ahead and start to release. Hands come back down to the mat as we crawl forward to our downward facing dog. As we inhale, right foot lifts up to the sky, three-legged dog. Big step, right foot outside of right hand. Lean the chest forward to create space, and then float the right hand, thread the left foot through as we kick the left heel up higher to the sky. Flex the quad. Thread the left foot back underneath as it steps to the back of the mat. Right hand reaches up to the sky, revolve side angle. Power up through the legs, grip the mat, and then rise up into your twisted crescent lunge. And then reaching the right hand, maybe to the back of the left leg as the left hand reaches overhead. Maybe deepen the bend into your right knee to deepen the lunge, create space. Good. Reach the left hand up to the sky. As you exhale, revolve side angle again. Left hand down to the mat, right hand up to the sky. From here, we're transitioning into side plank. So stepping the right foot back to the left, a big step, and then finding side plank. Options are to stay here in your side plank. You can modify in any way. A good modification is keeping the right foot down to the mat, sort of to the middle of the mat. And a good version, if you want to challenge yourself even more, is to simply lift your right leg high off the mat to create more activation. Otherwise, breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Good. We're going to start to bring the right knee back into our chest and take a big step forward to the top of our mat. When we do so, bring the right hand back down to the mat as well, so the hands are outside the right foot into runner's lunge, and then step the right foot back to the left. Take a breath in high plank. As you exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back to the heels. Inhale, pulls your being through to upward facing, and then exhale to downward facing dog. Woo, good work. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Lean the chest forward. Float the left hand, thread the right foot through, kick the right heel up to the sky. Come back where you came. Drive the right heel underneath the body to step to the back of the mat. Left hand reaches up, revolved side angle. Get strong through the legs, grip the mat with the toes, and then rise up into your crescent twist. Left hand back, right hand forward, and then maybe reach the left hand back to land on the back of the right leg. Bend deeper into your lunge as you reach the right hand overhead. Create space. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Right hand down to the mat, revolved side angle, left hand up. Get strong in the right hand, lighter in the left foot as you eventually step the left foot back to the right for side plank. Again, the variation here is to keep your left foot toward the middle of the mat to provide a third point of contact, or another variation is to lift the left leg high off the mat for another challenge. As you can tell, I'm mixing up my words because I'm also working very hard and sweating quite a bit over here. So we'll start to come out of this side plank by reaching the left knee in toward the chest, and then big step left foot to the top of the mat. As you do so, left hand also comes down to the mat into runner's lunge, and then step the left foot back to the right. Take a deep breath in high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pulls your being through to upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you find your downward facing dog, crawl the hands back to the feet for a forward fold. Just a couple breaths this time. We'll only be here for 5, 4, just to get the weight off of the hands for 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Crawl back into your downward facing dog. We are almost at the full sequence. And once we land in the full sequence, we'll do it a couple more times. We'll build the heat, we'll build the rhythm, and then we'll wind it down. But you're doing a great job, y'all. So inhale, right leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step, right foot outside of right hand. Lean the chest forward. Float the right hand as we kick the left heel through and drive the right elbow back in space. Thread the left foot back underneath to the back of the mat. Right hand lifts up to the sky, revolved side angle. Drive through the feet, create strength, and then rise up through your twisted crescent. Right hand to the back of the left leg, left hand overhead. Bend deeper into your lunge. Create space. One more inhale here. Exhale, left hand to the mat, revolve side angle, lift the right hand up. Create lightness in the right foot as we eventually step the right foot back in some capacity for side plank. Take a deep breath in side plank. Deep breath out. Draw the right knee back in toward your chest. Listen carefully. Take a big step forward, right foot to the top of the mat, coming into warrior 2. So as we take that big step forward with the right foot, the left heel dials down behind us, and we open our body out to the side. That feels nice to be in a strengthening position in the legs and to be able to relax the arms. Reach the arms out toward the side. As you do so, try to relax and soften in the shoulders. Beautiful. If you'd prefer to bring your palms to heart center here, that's an option in your warrior 2. Work into your lower body strength. Work into the hips opening within this warrior 2. Not only in the right hip as the right knee gently presses out to the side, but also in the left hip as it rotates externally to open. Beautiful job. From warrior 2, or we'll find a peaceful warrior as we reach the right hand overhead. Lean back, create space. Option to even straighten the right leg here if you'd like to. Breathing into the right side body. Good. And then we'll come into a side angle pose. Right elbow comes and grounds down to the right knee as we reach the left hand overhead to create space in the left side body. Of course, if you'd rather reach your right hand all the way down to the mat, you're more than welcome to. I just find that by bringing my right elbow to right knee, I'm able to create more steadiness and more space, especially in my right side body to not crunch down. Good. Take a deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Beautiful. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Reach the left hand down to the mat. We're coming through revolved side angle. We're eventually stepping the right foot back over the left leg and into our wild thing. Drive through the right foot. Lift the hips high off the mat. Take a deep breath in here. Lift the hips. As you exhale, come through high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop the knees down to the mat, hips sent back toward the heels. Inhale, pull your being through to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Amazing flow, y'all. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Lean the chest forward. Float the left hand, thread the right foot through as we kick the right heel up, drive the left elbow back. Thread the right foot back under the body as we lift the left hand up, revolved side angle. Power up in the legs, rise through your twisted crescent lunge, reaching the left hand to the back of the right leg as the right hand expands overhead. Bend deeper into your left knee. Take a deep breath in here. Deep breath out. Come through revolved side angle, left hand up to the sky. Come lighter in the left foot and eventually step the left foot all the way back to the right for your version of side plank. Take a deep breath in here. Deep breath out. As you inhale, start to bring the left knee in toward your chest. Big step forward. Listen carefully. Left foot to the top of the mat. Dial the right heel down. Twist open to warrior two. Let the arms find softness as the lower body remains engaged. Again, you can keep your arms facing out toward your sides like traditional warrior two, or if your arms need a little break, which is very understandable, you can bring the palms to heart center. Breathe into your strength, into your love in this warrior two. If your arms are at heart center, go ahead and reach them wide. Find your peaceful warriors. We reach the left hand up and overhead to create this side body stretch. Option to even straighten through the left leg here. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to find a side angle, so bend back into the left knee. Left elbow comes to the left knee as we reach the right hand overhead to create length in the right side body. Again, option to reach the left hand all the way down to the mat, to the outside of your left foot, if that feels nice for you. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Reach the right hand down to the mat. Come through your revolved side angle. We're very familiar with this shape. And then we're going to step the left foot back. Instead of side plank, we're stepping the left foot over the right foot to the back outside of the mat as we press through the feet and lift the hips high for our wild thing. Notice all this new space that we've been building, that we've been working towards. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, come through high plank, left hand and left foot return to the mat. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, knees drop, hips send back to heels. Inhale, pull your being through into your upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. As you find down dog, crawl the hands back to the feet, forward fold. There's another opportunity to just settle into a fold for about 5 breaths here. You can find Padagustasana, hooking the peace sign fingers around the big toes and pulling the chest down. You can even find another Padahastasana, gorilla pose, which is one of my favorite shapes in the yoga asana practice. So y'all, that was just our full flow that we've been climbing the ladder towards during this class. So now that we have the full flow, we're familiar with where we're going, we're going to find that full flow a couple more times on each side so that we can build rhythm and work into all of this strength and space that we've created. You've done such a beautiful job so far if you're still with me. Even if you're not still with me, good job up until this point. In your forward fold, take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Release the hands if you're binding, and then crawl forward to your downward facing dog. Y'all, let's do this. Let's find our full flow. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step, right foot outside of right hand. Lift the right hand outside off of the mat rather, and thread the left foot through. Lift the left heel high. Drive the right elbow back. Thread the left foot underneath the body to the back of the mat. Right hand lifts up, revolved side angle. Get strong in the legs, rise up, come through your twisted lizard lunge, and then reach the right hand to the back of the left leg, left hand overhead, sink into your lunge. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, left hand down to the mat, revolved side angle. Get lighter in the right foot, step the right foot back to the left for your side plank. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Draw the right knee back in toward the chest, big step forward, right foot top of the mat, warrior two. Left heel dials down, open up toward the left side. Arms are strong to the left and right. Peaceful warrior, right hand lifts overhead. Option to straighten your right leg as well. Breathe into your right side body as we inhale and exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Find your side angle. Right elbow to right knee, left hand reaches overhead. Create space, take a breath in. As you exhale, left hand down to the mat. Come through your revolved side angle simply to lift the right foot off the mat and step it out behind the left. Wild thing. Drive through the feet, lift the hips high off the mat, work into your space. Take a beautiful breath in. As you exhale, right foot and right hand return to the mat, high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, drop the knees, send the hips back to the heels, puppy. Inhale, pull your being through, look forward to your upward facing dog. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. As you inhale, lift the left heel up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Lean the chest forward, float your left hand, thread the right foot through as you flex and lift up and kick back through the left elbow. Release and thread the right foot to the back of the mat. Lift the left hand, revolved side angle. Get strong through the legs, press through the feet, rise up to your twisted crescent lunge. Left hand reaches to the back of the right leg. Right hand overhead as we bend into our twisted lunge. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the right hand down to the mat, revolved side angle. Getting lighter in the left foot and then stepping the left foot back to the right. Your version of side plank. Deep breath in, deep breath out. As you inhale, start to pull the left knee back in toward the chest. Big step forward with the left foot. Warrior two as the right heel dials down, open up toward the right side of your mat. Keep your arms out toward the sides, finding your strength. Peaceful warrior, reach the left hand overhead, creating length in the side body. Maybe straighten your left leg as well. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend back into your left knee for side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right hand reaches overhead. Create space, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, right hand down to the mat. Lift the left foot with lightness and then gently step the left foot over back behind the right. Lift the hips up to the sky, driving through the feet for your wild thing. Deep breath in. As you exhale, left hand and left foot return to the mat. Inhale in your high plank. Exhale, drop knees, send hips back to heels. Inhale, pull your beautiful being through to upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. When you get there, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Last round here. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, big step, right foot outside of right hand. Lean the chest forward, lift the right hand, thread the left foot through as we drive the right elbow back. Thread the left foot under the body, step to the back of the mat. Right hand lifts for a revolved side angle. Drive through the feet, rise up through your twisted crescent lunge, and then reach the right hand to the back of the left leg, left hand overhead. Create space. Take a breath in. As you exhale, left hand to the mat, revolved side angle. Get lighter in your right foot, step the right foot back to the left for side plank. Take a deep breath in and out. Start to pull your right knee back in toward your chest. Big step forward to the top of the mat. Warrior two as the left heel dials down. Open your body up. Peaceful warrior, inhale to reach the right hand back behind you, maybe straighten the right leg. Beautiful. Deep breath in. As you exhale, start to bend into your right knee, come through side angle. Right elbow to right knee, left hand reaches overhead. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Reach the left hand down to the mat, come through revolved side angle once more as we lift the right leg and then step the right foot out behind the left leg. Lift up through the hips. For your wild thing, work into your space. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, close everything off into high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, knees drop, hips send back. Inhale, pull your being through to upward facing. And then downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Last round through, y'all. Inhale, left foot up to the sky. Exhale, big step, left foot outside of left hand. Lean the chest forward. Drive the right heel in front of you as it threads through. Left elbow pulls back. Thread the right foot under the body as it steps to the back of the mat. Left hand up to the sky. Power up through the legs, drive to the feet. Rise up through your high crescent lunge. Reaching the left hand to the back of the right leg. Right hand overhead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Come through revolved side angle. Right hand to the mat. Left foot starts to get lighter as it steps back to the left, as it steps back to the right foot. Work into your side plank. Take a breath in and out. As you inhale, start to pull the left knee back in toward your chest. Big step forward with the left foot. Warrior two as the right heel dials down. Twist yourself open. Peaceful warrior. Breathe in as you reach the left hand up, maybe straighten the left leg. And then bend back into the left leg, side angle. Left elbow to left knee, right hand overhead. Deep breath in. And out, right hand down to the mat. Lift the left hand up and come into your wild thing. Left foot grounds behind you. Drive through the feet, lift the hips. Take a beautiful breath in. Exhale, close it off, come through high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, knees drop, hips send back. Inhale, pull your being through into upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing your down dog. Feel this strength. Don't worry, we're only here for a couple more moments of pressing through the palms. No matter how that looked for you, beautiful, beautiful work, beautiful effort. Give yourself some self-love and gratitude for finding these movements in your body. From here, we'll drop our knees down to the mat. We'll sit back to our heels and find a pause in this seated position. If it's uncomfortable to sit on your shins, you can always tuck your toes behind you or sit on top of a cushion. Let the shoulders relax. Let everything soften for a moment. If you'd like to take this opportunity to give yourself a little massage in the wrists, hands, or shoulders, that's always an option. Simply breathing deeply. In this meditative seat, can we allow that movement to wash over us? Can we notice the sweat on our body? If you're me, at least, I'm definitely sweating. Can you notice at what pace the heart is beating? Notice at what pace the body is breathing. And then try to soften wherever you can. From here, we'll swing the legs out in front of us and come into a wide-legged forward fold. Inviting even more softness, even more peace into this space. For a moment, just sit up nice and tall. Maybe slightly hinge forward at the hips, but keep a largely upright position. I know at least for me, I can still feel a relatively deep stretch, even just by sitting up in this shape. Try to find a little bit of activation, just enough to keep it safe, and you can do that by just gently flexing the toes back toward the shins. And just by doing that and extending the heels away from you, we can make sure that our legs are protected, that there's some activation in the calves, quads, hamstrings. From here, we'll start to fold over the left leg. So create the space hinging at the hips, folding directly over the right shin. And then allow the stretch to continue deepening. With every exhale, softening a little bit more in the upper body. You can have a soft bend in your right knee if you want. Maybe you rest your forearms on the mat. Maybe if you have the space, you can rest your forehead down somewhere on the right leg. Keep breathing into this soft space for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. Start to gently lift up, come through center. If you want to say hi to my cat, LeBron, he's chilling with me on the mat right here. He says hello to all of you. And then we'll start to fold over our left leg, creating softness on the left side of the body. You can have a soft bend in your left knee. Use this space to genuinely, gradually settle deeper with each exhale, relaxing a little bit more, especially in the upper body. Continue breathing into softness for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Sit up nice and tall. And now is where we can use that space to fold down the middle. And maybe if your hamstrings are feeling tight, it doesn't make that much of a difference when you fold down the middle. Maybe it just looks like you're still sitting up, and that's completely okay because that's where I was for quite a while in my practice. But to the extent that you're able to, go ahead and release the upper body down toward the ground in front of you. Maybe even rest your forehead down on the backs of your hands or on a cushion or block. Find softness, find a complete release in the shoulders, neck, jaw. We'll breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Start to sit up from this position. And then once you sit up, release the legs in front of you. And then just gradually recline all the way down onto your back, settling the whole body down onto the mat. And when you land your spine all the way on the mat, let's find a Supta Baddha Konasana shape, feet together, knees out wide. As you land there, you can rest one hand on the heart, one on the belly, or maybe rest the hands on the pointy hip bones. And both of those options I suggest because they provide a real sense of grounding. When we rest our hands on our structure, they allow us to feel into our physical shape of our body. It allows us to tune in, focus inward rather than outward. Knowing that every body, regardless of shape, size, movements, or capabilities, every single body is beautiful and extraordinary in its own way, simply by being alive. In your Supta Baddha Konasana, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. One more. Take a deep breath in and out. Bring your feet flat on the mat for bridge pose. So with the feet on the mat, the knees will point up and crawl the heels even closer to the hips in this nice compact shape. Of course, if you'd prefer to take supported bridge by simply placing a cushion or block underneath the hips, that's an option. If you prefer to take full wheel by placing the palms above the shoulders, that is also always an option. But for bridge pose, go ahead and just drive through the feet to lift the hips off of the mat. Work into this space. Feel all the muscles in the back side of the body, including the glutes and hamstrings, work together to lift the hips higher. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, lift a little bit higher, 2, 1, release the hips down, shake the knees side to side. We'll have 2 more opportunities for bridge pose or wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So as you're ready, drive through the feet, lift the hips off the mat in some capacity. If you'd like to deepen your bridge pose, you're welcome to clasp the hands behind the low back and then wiggle the shoulders closer to one another, using that to cultivate more space in the back. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, rock the hips down to the mat, shake the knees side to side. Beautiful work. Last opportunity for a back bend or back strengthener. Come through bridge or wheel or whatever feels good to you. Go through and lift the feet or press through the feet to lift the hips off the mat. Find your variation. I'm feeling open, so I'm actually going to try out a wheel pose here. Wherever you're at, find your breath. See if you can work into some stability, even in a challenging shape. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, gently release. As you do so, Bring the knees together in the mat, feet wide about mat's width distance. And what this does when we're able to bring the feet wide and knock the knees together in the middle is it creates a very neutral positioning for our sacrum, for our low back. And if you're like me and you tried a deeper than usual back bend today, this is a great way to decompress the spine, to let that movement fizzle out in a safe way. Take a deep breath in. Smooth exhale. Be here now. And often sitting in stillness can be looked at as a bad thing, like a stagnant thing. But I've learned that as an overactive person, most of the time finding stillness is a very beneficial thing. And it can actually aid us in our energetic movements to sit in stillness, to observe, to soften, and to release. From here, we will hug our knees into our chest and give ourselves a big hug of gratitude. From this compressed position, you're welcome to stay right here. You're welcome to take this into any other inversion that might feel good to you, whether it's happy baby, whether it's simply lifting the legs up to the sky and keeping your hips grounded down. Maybe it's shoulder stand, lifting the feet up. Or maybe it's plow pose, lowering the feet back behind the head and using that to create space as we round the spine, an opposite of a back bend. And I'll be in plow pose, but you can go wherever feels good to you. We'll have about 5 deep breaths in whatever inverted position you find yourself in. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, start to gently release and rock the hips and the whole body back down to the mat. When you get there, hug the knees in toward your chest one last time, and then we'll twist. Drop the knees off the right side of the mat. As we open the arms up, maybe gaze over to the extended left hand. You can modify this shape in the legs however you need to work into a twist that feels good for you. Take a few deep breaths into this reclined twist. Take one more deep breath in and out. Start to release, bring the knees back through center, and then drop the knees off the left side of the mat. Open up the arms wide, maybe gaze over to your extended right hand. Option to use your left hand to ground the right knee down further. Option to modify by extending the legs in any way that feels good to you. We'll have about 5 breaths in this reclined twist. Take one more deep breath in and out. Start to rock the legs back through center. Give yourself one final squeeze, hugging the knees in toward your chest, feeling gratitude, feeling self-love, feeling the beauty that lies within your soul and your body. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Extend the legs long out in front of you. Allow the arms to rest softly by your side. Release any control of the body. Release any control of the breath. Release control of the mind as everything softens down into the mat, as gravity weighs heavy, as everything becomes neutral. Yogis, this is where I'll leave you today. You're welcome to linger in this resting pose, in this Shavasana, for as long as you'd like. You certainly deserve it. You're also welcome to continue your practice in whatever way that feels good to you. As always, it's such a blessing and honor to share this space with you and to practice with you. I hope to see you soon on or off the mat. And until next time, peace and love.